the sun again without a cap. Got my new pot with terps. Finally got one. Just going to sort on there, look. I did. We'll have to cut to the shot of the sea for that one. Right, are we dry? Yes. Are we ready? Yes, almost. Let's get that ready. Lids off. Lids off. Are you filming? Lids off. Brushes out. Ready to go. I think. Right. Oh, surfer. He's driving this place out. Nice one there, didn't he? Look at Cudden Point lit up as well. That's lovely. Okay. Okay, we've come down August evening, and it was chucking it down with rain on the way. So we've had all our coats and stuff with us. Managed to dispatch them as the sun just came out for a minute. We're on Praa Sands, or Praa Sands as some people call it, and I've got a panoramic piece of plywood with a dark green ground on, and we're going to do a painting of that view there, I think, and we just see how we get on with this one. So yeah, let's see how we go before it rains again. Right, thanks. Back in 5. Let's just put this in place. On this, I've got to work out what I want to do. I want the beach to sweep round, you see, like that. Not that. If that can come in there, we'll sweep that round like that. So that might be quite nice. So that can sweep round. We'll have that. Let's lighten that a little bit so I can see what I'm doing. So that will come round to about there, and then the next bit. Right, I'm just going to whack this light water in, because that's, well, that's bright. That's over there. That's not. Let's get something in there a minute, and above it. That's quite a nice colour, but yeah, it's quite bright compared to the headland. Not too cold, is it? Warmer than the last weekend Perranudno. Just try and put a bit of this beach colour in here. Let's get some in. Oops, with a bit of. Let's get a bit of terps on there. That section. We're just trying to get it to dry a bit quicker for us, then, and put some more paint on the top pretty quick. Then just try and get an impression of this very quickly before the light changes again and the rain comes back. So this is quite interesting, trying to paint while I'm holding the phone. very interesting exercise. So if I've got a choice, I can either look through the phone and paint that way, or look at the painting and risk missing what I'm videoing, like I've probably done there. And change the colour slightly there. So here, there's no, I'm not adding any more terps into this now here, and the colours are like a mixture of yellow ochre, there's some cadmium orange, a bit of violet, and some warm white on the brush, the same brush that I used for the sky and the water, so I haven't cleaned it at all. So I've just, that will pick up some of that colour there, and then it will grey it off a bit, which is quite nice. That's what I like. Now we're just going to try and let's paint in some of this headland now, but I'm going to need to put the phone down for that, so I can concentrate on that bit. My camera person has departed for a moment. Let's just try and put a bit of this colour in here a minute. See if I can do that while I'm holding the phone. Just to mark that in, to get rid of that dark green ground colour. We've got the headland here. Can't remember the name of this point here, but it swings round, and we've got Cudden Point is in here. So as we're looking at that now, that's Cudden Point there. It swings round, and this is Praa Sands, and that's where the cafe is down there. So let's just get this marked in. Camera person's back. Excellent. I'll hand it over to the expert. That field is quite nice. Got some nice nice fields over there, nice colours. It's a cool green there. I'm not too concerned about how accurate they are, but I quite like the colours. Put that one in like that, that's quite nice. Need one coming here. Swing that across the top. Lights going again. That swings. I've just got to make a note now where this. I need to know where this headland comes in. Sort of. Don't want it to be too dark though. Certainly not like that colour, is it? Let's get Madeline's favourite colour in there, magenta. She's got all over her coat. You're so mean. Right, that needs to come. If I say that's the end of that bit there, and then there's a little bit that pokes up. We're going to put a bit of violet in there for that, just for a minute, so we can see what we're doing. A bit too much. That drops down like that, and then it falls away to something like that. And these rocks come across here. This colour. It's funny, I seem to have a different sort of earthy yellow every time I come out painting. I use a different colour. It's not. Today it's yellow ochre. Last time it was, I think it was raw sienna, and then maybe the time before it was Naples yellow. It seems to change. It just depends whichever one I pick up out of the box. I don't think I need all three out for outdoor painting. That's a nice colour. I like that. I'm going to try and put this in for a bit of fun. I'm going to exaggerate it, bring it there like that. I think that's going to have to be toned down, but I quite like it. Let's tone it down a little bit, like that. Yeah, we'll leave that for a minute. I'm going to have to put some of the made that one at the back headland there too big, too tall, I think. Just put something in there so I can see what I'm doing. I'm going to have to start looking at getting some of the sea in before it rains again. Nice rock there, so I've got to get that rock in. But I can't remember how I got that colour. Let's just get this marked in there. Look, that's that one. There's a bit that goes across there, like that. This is the sort of thing that's very difficult to get right when the wind's knocking your arm around, although it's not that windy, but it's still, every so often, just when you're doing a little important mark, your wind picks your arm up and you go up there. Something like that. Let's get some of that nice sort of that's quite nice. I like the way that's here. That's quite nice, that is. Let's get some, we need some proper green in there, don't we? It's not good like that. It's quite a nice little area here. It's not quite as light as that, but I'll have to like exaggerate it. Let's just change that colour slightly. That's quite nice. That drops down. Across the lighter area at the top, which is more like a yellow ochre. That's too, I brought that too far across, look. That field should be like that. Where's my palette knife? Where's the palette knife? There it is. That needs to come off. It's changed a lot since we first got here again. See if we can get some of that more violet. That's wrong, I don't like that. Let's see if we can drop that, yeah, let's drop that down there, look. That's quite nice, nice to the yellow ochre-y colour coming across in the sky there now. too violety. Be careful that start to look a bit sickly. It's too violety yet. Look at that, it's even worse. Knock that back with some of that yellow in there, some lemon yellow in there. Just knock that violety back. Don't like that. So that comes across. It still needs to be lighter. There. Yeah, get rid of a few out that pack on them. You can go and have a wander around if you want. Bare feet. Drops down, so we're not going to get Pudding Point in at the end, are we? So we can see what it was like. There's a bit of orange in the sky there. So just drop that. I'm going to drop that down a bit lower. Something like that. Let's move on to the start having a look at that sea in a minute. Once I've got this, oh that's nice, I like that. That's worked nicely. Stroke of luck, wasn't it? That just gives that quite a nice lift. That colour in there. I quite like that. It's like a pink. That just. It's quite a hard colour to get, that beach. Oh, Stench is back. Basil, Basil. Changed, doesn't it? It's gone orange now. The water's starting to get an orange tinge to it rather than that green we had earlier. deep it is out there, you see. All that, not only is all that, all the colours changed, of course the tide's come in as well. A lot more than when I was working on it a minute ago. Well, I don't know how long I've been here now. Lost track of time. Completely changed, so I'm going to just try and put some of these white surfy areas in now and then we'll call it a day, I think. And we'll have a look at it in the studio. I'm just wondering about that. Don't like that bit there. It's where the lightest bit is here. That's the lightest. The lightest bit is where that the water has just gone out on the surf. That's the lightest part of the painting. Apart from that blooming, look at that now. Apart from that, although that's, look at that now, would you believe it? How am I going to, that's all changed out there now, that's something now. Just here, it's all changed. I know my geography. Not really. All this surf on top of this. Just starting to rain. Put some few last touches on and I think we'll have to call it a day. Oh. Got to get that surfing before. Look at what's happened to that paint, it's gone really weird. I mean, lumpy that is. Oh, that's horrible. Palette, how wet it is now. The rain, you know. See, it doesn't mix. Can't mix the paint so well. Look now. Doesn't look how it slides off the palette. Look, it goes all lumpy because of the rain. Totally different. Look. One last mark on, I'll do a little, I'll wrap it up. I just need to get my arm in here. that'll have to do. I think it started chucking it down now. Paint's not mixing very well on the palette. We've got enough information now to continue with that one again in the studio. So watch the next part. But yeah, we'll finish that off in the studio as usual. But I think we've got quite a nice bit of information there, and I think that will do for now. So see you back in the studio. Thanks, bye for now.
Right, so here we are back in the studio, ready to finish off. That's where we got to, and it started chucking it down with rain on the beach outside, so we're set up on the easel. And this is the palette I'm going to be using just to finish off this painting. I've laid out a titanium white, I've got a Windsor lemon, a lemon yellow, there's cadmium yellow there, probably won't use that. Similar as a cadmium red, probably won't use that either. I've put out an alizarin crimson today rather than the magenta. I've got cadmium orange, that's my Indian red, which should have gone on there. I've got there's a pile of burnt umber which I won't be putting out today. That is raw sienna, there's my violet. I've got a ultramarine blue, cobalt blue, and a manganese blue, and an ivory black there in the corner, so that's out of the way, but I do use it from time to time. That's my pot with terpsin, which I keep the lid on so I don't get overwhelmed by any fumes, so I take it off when I use it. And I'm going to be using walnut oil today to mix with the paint. The surface of the paint's already had a layer of paint on with a bit of terps mixed, and so to finish off I'm going to use this walnut oil. So I'll put that into that dipper there and just add a tiny bit with the paint as we go along. And that's my other pots and tins and stuff, loads of things I've collected over here. I'm going to start making up I've got such a load of Damar varnish. I'm going to start using that in some medium this winter, so we'll see how that goes. I'm going to mix up some homemade medium with Damar varnish, stand oil and terp, so we'll see how that goes. But right, I'm going to get started. Okay, let's see how we get on. Right, so far we've just worked on this area in the sky, just lighten that a little bit. I've added a bit of a similar colour but slightly thicker paint into these areas here, so where the sky's reflecting. And I've been messing around with the sand, which I haven't quite got right yet to how I like it. I want it to be, I'm going to make it lighter here, so I've just sort of mixed up a violety grey. I just want to lay this in something like that, so I want it to be lighter. So let's go back down to the palette, and we're just going to lay this on something like that. There's the pigeons running across the ceiling, the roof of the studio outside. Wacky races up the top there. And leave that area there. I want that to just sort of lead us back into the painting over there a little bit, like that. That's better. Yeah, that's better. I prefer that now. And just because this is where I just dip into that walnut oil. So we've got just a little bit of oil in there. And now we're going to try let's just put that on there, see what that looks like. That's okay. There's a few hairs coming out the brush, but it doesn't matter. Just scrape them off. And I'm just going to lay that up here. So it's like a hazy, there's a haziness to the light up there, where the spray was coming in. So I just want to give that a sort of a hazy feel. That's a bit too violet, so we'll put a bit of yellow in there, lemon yellow, just to grey that off a little bit. Let's try bring that round there, something like that. Something like that. Okay, that's where we're at the moment. I'm going to go off camera now, do a bit more, and then we'll see where we're at in about half an hour's time. So I'm just going to build up some of the waves, show you quickly, scooping up the paint. So I've got plenty of paint on the brush. And then I'm just going to lay that in quite thickly into certain areas. Let me think now where to adorn it. And this is going to sit on the top of this like underpainting, which is done out on location. So let's just lay this on. You can see that I'll lay that on quite thick in areas and build up the surface like that. So that's what the surface is looking like at the moment, and this is how I really do like to paint. So you've got another underpainting started outdoors, and I really do like to go back in the studio and finish it off when it's dry. So my plein air painting is like a means to an end, it's not the end for me. I hope that makes sense. I've always worked like that. And sketching is the same. I like to go out sketching and use those as reference for paintings indoors. So my work is a mixture of indoor and outdoor work. But I couldn't do it without the outdoor side of it, but I couldn't do it without the indoor side either. So there we go. I'll carry on and let's see how we get on. Right, so that's where we're at the moment. I think we're virtually done. You can see I've added a few figures in at the back and knocked the fields back, so all this area, there's the figures. Let's just move that around. There's the figures, this is the fields, and I think I'll just knock that back a bit because you had this sort of hazy spray coming off the surf here as the weather was changing, and that's where we're at here. I haven't really changed much in that area. I've darkened the beach a little bit and added this highlight in, but I think what I'm going to do to finish off, I just want to try and drag this across here. So I've loaded the brush with this lemon yellow, orange, a bit of titanium white. I'm just going to try dragging this across just a little bit to see what that looks like. And I'll just blend it with that wet paint there. I just want to see if that helps take away that diagonal, which I found was a bit too strong. The only problem now is I've got two points here, which I don't really like. So I'm going to have to probably take that one away a little bit, I think. Right, okay, we'll check back in a minute. Right, so what I've done, I've just softened that area quickly with a palette knife, so it's just, there's no point, because I didn't want it to look like 2 points coming out. So that's roughly where we're at. I think I'm going to leave that for the moment and we'll call that finished. So there we are. Right, let's just get that video all put together and we can see what you think. Let me know what you think, and don't forget to subscribe if you like the channel and want to see a bit more content. Thanks very much. Bye for now.